Okie dokie. Continuing on with our About the Course video series. The next thing that we're going to look at is this CFO of your life video reflections uh, projects that we'll be doing, reflection papers we'll be doing this semester. Um, Periodically throughout the semester, these will be due. You can check the calendar to see the due dates on those. And down here, you'll navigate to the very bottom of the Canvas page here below chapter 13. All the way to the bottom is going to be some things that are extra outside of the general workflow of the class. And so when it comes to this CFO of your life video reflections, essentially what um, these assignments are is trying to bridge the 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 material, or trying to make the material we're covering in class a little more connected maybe to your own life experience, right? And so doing a little reflection, um, getting a little philosophical about some of these things even, right? Because in this class, really, we're going to be doing a lot of that accounting type work, obviously debits and credits and calculating numbers and things like that, and using those numbers. But really, in managerial accounting, we do want to kind of expand our thinking beyond just that kind of algorithmic, maybe mechanical, debit's always an asset, increasing is always a debit, just get a beyond that type of accounting work, which is extremely important, of course, not to downplay that work or say that it's not as important or something like that. But, as a manager in managerial accounting, and also just in this course, really what we talk about in managerial accounting is how to use those numbers to make decisions, right? Especially around financial related issues. And typically we're talking about from, different business perspectives. But all of us have financial concerns. I mean, that's a part of our everyday life, regardless of what path you choose, whether it be an accountant or to do something completely different, right? And so these 5 different uh, assignments, video reflection assignments here, again at the very bottom of Canvas, you're going to go in. Oh, geez. I don't know if you guys have this problem, but whenever I scroll in Canvas, it pops back up at the top. I have to scroll again. So anyway, you're going to go in here, and again, you'll see deadlines for these on the calendar. And just kind of read through this. It gives you an overview of what this specific assignment in this series is going to be addressing. And then you're going to watch a video, right? So this one is a TED Talk. A lot of these they're all TED Talks, basically. It does link to the YouTube page of the TED Talk, so you'll click a link to go to YouTube and watch the video. They're not really long, and I thought they were all really quite good videos. Um, for example, this first one is how to make hard choices, right? That's kind of what we're doing in this managerial accounting class. We're starting to just get some exposure to the types of choices and how accounting data can be used to make choices in a business context, right? Excuse me. And so we're going to try and just get a little philosophical, like I said, do some reflection, both from that CFO kind of, decision maker, financial decision maker perspective, but also to realize that, we are the CFOs of our own lives, right? We need to make decisions about our financial situation. We need to plan, we need to budget, we need to forecast, we need to have goals that we can strive towards, or at least those are important things, in my opinion, to have in place in order to to live a better life, I guess, to be more uh, fiscally stable, financially stable, to make the decisions that you really want to make. And I'm not saying there's any right decision or wrong decision. I do want to highlight in these reflection videos that I really put on here. You're welcome to agree or disagree with the speaker, right? Definitely not everyone is going to follow the same path. I myself took a very corporate accounting path, standard public accounting, on to being eventually a CFO, and then made a huge career change to work in academia. And so it's not something I would have necessarily known at the start of that journey. Um, and maybe something that, I did have to take a really big pay cut working in academia. So it's maybe something that one person would say that's a great outcome, and another person would say that was the worst idea I could ever think. Why would you do that? So it's not to say that there's any one right path, but these assignment is designed to just get you thinking, about different paths. How could you get to these different paths? So on and so forth. But we are all, like I said, you're the CFO of our own lives. We have limited resources when it comes to time, when it comes to money, so on and so forth. So that's the overall goal of these assignments, is just to get reflective. So you'll watch the video, and then you'll click here to download a response template in Microsoft Word. So the template has 4 questions, kind of based on this video that will ask you to kind of reflect on your own life, to think from kind of that CFO perspective. And I hope you will find them interesting. I think that they are pretty interesting, videos, and I'm curious to see your responses and reflections. And my goal, hopefully, is that you can sort of start to develop these skills that we're going to talk about as managerial accountants, and at least to see how you could take some of these techniques and skills that you're learning in this class and actually use them in your own life to make better personal decisions about your life for yourself, just like a CFO is making decisions about a company and better, the goals and all those kind of things. So that's the idea there. Grading 12 points. There's kind of a grading rubric here you could read through. Again, it's in a Word document. Then when you finish typing out your responses in your Word doc, you watch the video, you do all that. Geez, yeah, see, up to the top. Okay, then, just as per usual, you come to the upload spot. So each of these 5 different video reflection assignments have 5 different upload spots here. So that will be there for you. All right. Well, hopefully you find that interesting. Again, it's hopefully I'm hoping that you see the value in being able to connect these concepts that we're talking about, which may seem very far off. I know, everyone's just, maybe this is your second accounting class, and you're just starting to have exposure to all these different kinds of topics and techniques and Excel spreadsheets and all this kind of stuff. But I really hope that by doing this video reflection exercise, you can at least start to kind of connect some of these dots to how this information not only applies from a career perspective, but really can be kind of holistic to your life in how you plan, how you budget, how you measure your success, and think about your own life in that way, so that you can invest your limited resources of time and money and all those things in a way that really, is meaningful to you, essentially. So, all right. Well, thanks, everybody. Hope you find that series of video projects interesting. And I will see you in the next About the Course video. Thanks.